Why is it when we come in at our worst, the episode is always best?
I don't know.
This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in, G?
Yeah. New studio.
Sorry, guys. New studio, new legs. That's why you watched me trip during the intro song.
Remember QWAP?
No.
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 QWAP. It has nothing to do with Cardi B. It was this game where those were the keys that you used to make the marathon runner move.
QWAP. Was it like one of those?
Really
Is it like
famous
running?
Flash game?
Oh, okay.
I remember
Okay.
Happy Wheels.
Was it like that? What was that silly game? Tombstone Raider? No.
RuneScape.
Something like that, where you're just like running on like a brick bridge.
No, that's not.
That's
RuneScape
Mario.
is like World of Warcraft stuff.
Oh,
but
I don't know.
No. Can you tell we're off?
It's time to pray.
How you doing, PDB?
You just interrupt my prayer like that?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Dear God, I want to thank you for this podcast. And I want to thank you for everybody who supports this podcast, for the people who are trying to take over this podcast, keep it off the air, keep us from doing what we're doing to spread your word. Thank you.
I like the idea that there's people trying to get church stories off the air, and it's us.
There are people all over the world that want to take down this podcast because they know that what we're doing is shining a light on everything that they're doing, because what they're doing is what they're accusing us of doing.
Oh, man.
I've been listening to a little bit of Alex Jones.
I feel like at this point with the podcast, it's like when when people get. It's like when Jennifer Aniston gets complimented on Friends, people are like, "Oh my God, I used to watch it all the time when I was in college, and I just love everything you did, the chemistry." And you're so far removed that you're like, "Oh, cool." Except we're Jennifer Aniston, and envision us on the red carpet wearing a more expensive dress than you make a salary a year, and you're fawning, and we're like, thanks.
A lot of those dresses, I learned this, they're all rented.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
You
know
can't.
that.
No, you can't live like that. And also, people just get so much free stuff at those awards. Anyways, I heard there's like a gift bag for like the Emmys and the Golden Globes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You get like a Rolex. You get
Some
like a
Botox.
freaking, like a Samsung Galaxy, the newest one or whatever. I don't know, Android phones. They just give you a paperweight known as a Samsung Galaxy.
A bag of random pills. One has fentanyl. Be careful.
Be careful. It's a pill roulette, but except they're all in a Pez dispenser.
And the Pez is Tom Hanks's face.
Let's go. How you doing, Chase?
I'm good. On the way
Chase.
here, I was behind a car on the highway. Their license plate said, "I'm a Texan," TXN, and it was a South Carolina license plate. So I'm mad disagree.
Yeah. Have you ever
Maybe they
wanted?
were-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that maybe they were born there.
Don't we can't give the Texan that. Hey, if you're from Texas, stop listening.
I'm from Texas.
Hey, have y'all ever wanted a vanity plate?
No.
Really?
Have you? You want
Maybe.
veggie tail?
No. Before that, what did I want? I can't even remember. I had like 3 because you can't select one. You have to select, like, you have to put input 5, like with the least, like the one you want the most, and the rest of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't think of the rest?
Well, no. The ones that I all had were like really dumb, and but I was like 19 or 20, and I was like, okay, I should get a vanity. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, it is.
But I also had like a bunch of bumper stickers at one point on my car too. So
Yeah, I remember that.
It is wild.
yeah, and I'd have to like explain them to people. I don't know why, but I was like, I should have just. There were a lot of jokes, and I was like, these were for the timeline. What am I doing? Just people walking in the parking lot laughing at my car.
I learned my lesson about a bunch of like bumper stickers and stuff when like I was just constantly breaking down, and everyone would be like, "Oh, Chase broke down again," because you could
brother.
recognize my Jeep.
If you have a bunch of bumper stickers, you either really love Trump or you really love Bernie.
No in between. No in between.
Guess which one we are.
Joe Jorgens.
I voted Green Party, brother.
Is Joe Jorgensen the one who wears a boot on his head?
No.
No, Joe Jorgensen is a woman.
She went to Clemson University.
Yeah.
She was the independent party.
She got
candidate.
3 votes.
Guys, can you tell I'm into politics?
The North Greenville Theater Department funded her campaign bracket.
Yeah, they were the 3 votes.
They were the 3 votes.
Really?
No, not really. But it was like they really loved Joe Jurgens.
Golly,
Double
man.
J.
Y'all remember JJ the jet plane?
Joe Jorgensen, the jet plane.
Hey, this whole
we should have
episode,
worked on the campaign.
we just jumping from topic we think of to topic we think of.
No segment.
We're in the new studio.
Yeah.
The Bludio's back.
Shout out to Ethan Perkins. His brother, him and his brother pastor church. That's like 10 minutes. Pastor a church. That's about 10 minutes from our old
His
studio.
brother, Pastor Church.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Pastor church.
So we would like to thank Pastor Church for letting us be here today. And
Yeah, you already know the drill. Yeah. And it's probably 10 minutes away from GCC. It's called ENC, East North
Yep.
Church.
Thank you, Pastor Church.
So they were gracious enough to give us some space.
it's 10 minutes close to my house from GCC.
I noticed that today, and
And
I was like,
I loved it.
This is a
It's,
got played.
10 minutes farther from me.
Yeah, for me too.
Hey guys, welcome to my world. That's what I've been doing. And this morning I got to leave the house 15 minutes before I needed to be here, and I still got here first. So I don't have an ending to that. I'm just happy.
Chilling
I'm
on
just
the
happy.
dirt road.
And it threw everything into chaos for me, and I was 5 minutes late.
Yeah, well, you know what? I specifically wanted to text earlier today and be like, "Hey, new studio," because for some odd reason I thought PD's gonna give himself enough time to go to the old studio, which is just enough time to arrive if we were gonna be there. That's how PD operates. Man, wow, guys, we want to read some emails, or do we have any questions we need to answer? What are we doing?
Yeah, we can read some emails.
Okay.
I'm excited for the emails because I went through them last night, found some good ones.
Ooh, well, Chase, pick up the binder, brother.
I'm not going to lie, I've been a little down on the emails, but, now that Chase has
Guys.
gone through them.
Among me, Chase, and PD holds the emails to the highest standard. But PD is also, I would say, the strongest writer among the three of us. So when you're writing an email, envision you're reading it across a table from PD. Okay?
Yep.
And anything that wouldn't kill with PD, don't put it in there. That's when I'm writing to PD.
And I want
I'm writing them a dearest brother that I'm trying to impress.
I will say some of these I starred because they're just really good stories, and there's some that I starred because they made me laugh.
Yeah.
For like typo reasons.
Yeah.
Or,
You should star some really bad emails just so we can roast them.
There's some I starred just because they put my name first. So
Maybe we need somebody else in charge of the star process.
Yeah. Well, we got bias.
do y'all want to
Guys,
pick
it's
one?
I
rigged.
just saw my
You're
name 3
discovering.
times.
Hey, we got the shredder in the building.
Shredder.
I don't know why
in
we
the
have
building.
to. I feel like I need to turn on the shredder just a little bit for
We
people
got-
to kind of know that, hey, this is real. We shredding today.
Yeah, we got the shredder in the building, killing all the emails. You could swear it had a hit.
There was an email that I
Everyone who
starred
doubted me is asking for forgiveness.
because
You ain't been a part of it. At least you got the witness.
Ooh.
That's Drake.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, there's one I starred because it was so problematic, but he was from Sweden and it was an English translation issue. And I'm trying to find that one.
Oh man, how does he listen to the podcast?
Let's. Hey, you want to search it on your phone? Ooh, I can read an email. You can search it on the phone. Is that it?
No.
4th graders drop like flies.
Oh, that's
Don't
a
read
good
the-
one,
Don't
though.
read the subject though.
Sorry.
Now people are gonna be like, "Well, let's pick up that 4th grader's drop like flies." I'll hand that one to PD. He'll read it.
Where did you see that?
I think it was just a page over. Go back one.
That's the one about French Canadians.
Oh, my bad. People are gonna read the
Here
subject
it
like,
is.
"It's mine, please." Okay, is this the one? Okay, and you're gonna
Alright,
search that
this
one.
is-
You're gonna search the Swedish guy one.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. And
This is
then
by Riley Fleetwood. Can I read it as Alex Jones?
Riley Fleetwood. I feel like I've heard that.
We've
name
heard
before.
from Riley
Okay.
before, yeah.
Shouts out to Riley.
He even mentions, or she even mentions, which one that they're from.
Okay.
Look, this might kill my voice, but can I try to do this as Alex?
I didn't know. we let you do the
I
the
can't
Trump
do more,
drops on the
Alex.
last podcast, and I'm editing that right now, and I'm like,
Sorry. I didn't
"Jeez."
know it was gonna make a ding sound every time I hit one of the.
No, the ding is fine. It's the Donald that I was worried about.
It was a one-time thing. It was worth it for the time that he said fake news.
It was good, yeah.
And then every time after that, it was diminishing returns.
Hey, give PD a bit, and he'll teach PD how to write bits.
I got logged out of the account on my phone.
Oh man. Okay, cool.
All right, Riley Fleetwood. Hey guys, I'm back again after the sea urchin one. You know, where I peed on a dude's foot with a kids ministry. Oh, that was in parentheses. So I'm back again after this. I'm back again after the sea urchin one with a kids ministry story.
Okay. I was about to say that got that sounded like a confession real quick.
My old church has a Wednesday night kids program, and I worked there through all of high school. I was training to be there, to be in their full-time kids ministry, and I was often put in charge of the difficult groups of kids since I was more attuned to handling them and such. So on Wednesday nights, I was with the fourth graders, which is usually mostly boys. These boys were severely disrespectful and difficult to handle, always doing stupid stuff. But one specific occasion, takes the cake for the dumbest thing. The program is based around rotating between different rooms. As we were about to leave the room, the boys were arguing about holding their breath. I was trying to wrangle them in and squash the argument, but they kept going. Eventually, I had them lined up and we were moving rooms. As we were crossing the hallway, suddenly, one of the kids dropped. In all caps. One of the kids dropped. And fell face first into a door across the hall. Landing flat on his face on the ground, I tried to get him up, but for a solid 12 to 15 seconds, he wasn't responding because he had passed out. That was also all caps. Then
Passed out.
passed out. Then he woke up, realized he was on the ground, and his mouth/nose were bleeding, and he started bawling. Essentially, what happened was that right before the kids lined up, the other boys dared this one to hold his breath as long as he could, and the kid held it so long he passed out, causing him to fall across the hall into a door. We had to spend the next rotation room lecturing them about how you need oxygen and need to chill.
Hey, those are two of my favorite things.
He dropped
oxygen and chill.
I wish that was in caps too.
Before I was married, I used to invite girls over
To oxygen
and I just be like,
and
"You want to come over and oxygen? You want to breathe in and out and chill with me?" That's all I got on the agenda. You ain't got to be scared of me, baby girl. We just breathing and vibing.
The kid's mom showed up later, and we told her what happened. She looked at him and said, "Well, now he knows. Thanks for helping. Best mom ever." Thanks so much, guys. Y'all rock. And PD, I want you to know that was, in fact, the best steak I have ever had. Riley Fleetwood.
I think this is the guy
Was he the guy?
that you made a steak for at the Peddler.
No,
Oh.
that's just a reference.
Oh.
You weren't here. You don't understand.
Whatever.
Hey, we'll let you search that email again, dog.
Okay. In the binder or on the phone?
You know what? Hold on. Let's do this. Let me pass you the phone.
Oh, this is a
Oh, this
GIF
is
in that
this
one.
is a fun one too. We could read this one.
Okay.
All the way from
Read that
India.
one. Do you want me to read that one?
Hey,
and then
yeah,
you can
sure.
search the email.
I've been watching a wrestling show from India. I feel very connected.
The subject is all the way
To
from
the-
India. This is from Mobin Varghese. Mobin. It's Mobin time. Sorry, Mobin. Hey, this is from April of last year. Sorry, we're late getting to this, Mobin.
We're not.
Hey,
We're not sorry.
That's the quiet part. Hey guys, my name is Mobin Varghese. I'm a Christian living in India. Hey, we'd read it if you're a Buddhist living in India too. I just want to let you know that. We're thankful that you're a Christian since this is Church Stories podcast. But we are franchising out a Hindu temple podcast too. That's Oh, you have to stop. Okay.
No, you can do whatever.
Okay,
Keep going.
that's fine.
Keep going.
Uh,
Keep going, Shama.
Quran cast coming soon, guys. Mosque story cast.
I'm gonna start the Punjabi prison podcast.
All right. I found out about you guys through Shama's Instagram. You're welcome. It's a whole different story. I follow a lot of Christian hashtags on Instagram, and somehow the algorithm just aligned all the stars and made one of Shama's reels come on my feed. I loved him so much that I started following him closely, not stalking. That's how I found out about church stories.
If you tell a judge that, I don't think there's much of a difference.
I was following him
there.
closely,
Yeah.
not stalking. That's how I found out about church stories. I've been listening to you guys, and I just have to tell you how much I love you guys. I can listen to you guys make fun of PD all day. What?
That's why I started that
And then there's a
thank you.
And then this is Captain America saying, "I could do this all day." A screen grab from the movie. You guys do have some pretty funny church stories, but I don't know if you guys know about Indian churches. Them crazy. I've got a story for you guys. So I teach Sunday school in my church, and of course we are Asians, and we have a Sunday school, and we have Sunday school exams for the kids. Oh man, this is different. Indian church is different.
They make
Sunday
you do
school
exams. They're smart.
Sunday school exams.
We just try to like fart out a memory verse.
Why is it when we come in at our worst, the episode is always best?
I don't know. You ever
like-
farted out a memory verse?
It's like in order for this podcast to be at its best, we need to be emotionally and mentally at our worst. Chase, you can hop up and search that email. Is it not working?
I tried. I couldn't find
dang.
it. It's all right. Maybe it'll be a surprise.
Even some
later.
words in the email, Swedish, like
Yeah,
none of that worked?
None of it worked.
Okay. So I teach Sunday school in my church, and of course we are Asians, and we have Sunday school exams for the kids. So I teach children who are aged between 5 to 7. My class is called the primary class. This is almost like the primary bedroom at my house. The primary class has a verbal exam. Like we ask them questions for the curriculum for their exams. Curriculum?
Wow.
Exams, questions. Guys, this is a lot of expectations for 5 to 7-year-olds at church. You want them to learn about God and stuff?
What happens if you fail? Do you retake Sunday school until
Go to hell.
You go to immediately.
Are there some adults?
Freaking trap door. They freaking, he just freaking,
Are there some 30-year-olds in Sunday school that just haven't passed their exams?
Got held back in Sunday school a few times.
Dude, I remember I was in my parents would make me read the Bible. Me and my siblings read the Bible every day. My dad would. And one time I was at this church because we visited different churches Sunday morning, night, and Wednesday night. And the Sunday school teacher, this was like a Sunday morning church we'd never been to. The Sunday school teacher was talking about the 10 Commandments. And she had passed us all out Bibles, and she was like, there's a chapter in the Bible where it talks about 10 Commandments. Those are God's rules. And I don't really remember where it's at in the Bible today. And I remember I just flipped through my Bible. I was like 8 or 9. I flipped through the Bible, and I was like, oh, I found it. Oh, here it is. It's just in Genesis or whatever. And she was like, oh, my goodness. Is it in Genesis? Sorry, guys. But she was like, oh, my goodness, you are so smart. And I was like, this is the first book of the Bible. You know, like this is kind of a staple. But she went and told my parents, like when we walked back to big church, she was like, your son is such a biblical scholar. And I was telling my parents, I was like don't
buy
that
in.
lady was just dumb.
Don't buy in.
The lady just didn't know.
If I had been in your Sunday school, I would have been like, this try hard. Over here knows where the 10 Commandments
This
are.
kid's studying for the curriculum.
You guys are lucky I found my Bible this morning.
Okay. So I was asking this kid about the story of Abraham and Isaac. I asked her, I see the firewood for the sacrifice. I see your knife, your killing knife. But where is the sacrificial animal? Asked Isaac. What did Abraham say? Killing knife. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
It's my
that.
killing
I like
knife.
that. I don't got one of those in my house.
Oh.
I got kitchen knives. Boo. Boo. No, I seriously want the kids to feel good about this Sunday school exam. This kid wasn't able to answer some questions, so I had to push in some hints so they could just answer it. This kid wasn't getting any hints. I wasn't getting any hints. hints I was throwing at her. Finally, I got frustrated and asked her to imagine if she and her dad were walking up the mountain and she was carrying the firewood, and she asked her dad about the sacrificial animal, then what would her dad say? She suddenly realized the answer and got excited that now she knows the answer. And I was still not convinced she had the answer correctly, but I had spent a lot of time trying to give her the hint and just went with it. I asked for the answer and she was so confident with it. She said, "My dad would say, 'Don't talk back to me, young lady. You do what I asked you to do, no questions asked.'" I was like, that sounds about right, and gave her the mark she deserves. That's it from me, you guys. I live way farther than Mark and Steve, so there isn't any point sharing my phone number with you guys. But here's a link to my Instagram below. I would love to hear back from you guys. The anecdotist.
I do want to talk to him. We got to figure out the time zone.
That email
situation.
was from over a year ago.
You think you dropped off as a listener?
Maybe. But I will say, I starred that email just because of the making fun of PD joke.
Man,
that was
yeah.
funny, man.
You know, I'm glad we waited a year to read this, and I wish we had waited longer.
You get to with God bless you guys, Mobin Varghese. Mobin time's
Thanks,
over.
Mobin.
Hey, thanks,
It's
Mobin.
Mobin time.
It's Mobin. I said that earlier, Chase. Come on now.
Mobin time.
Come
Like
on.
it's
Come on.
Mobin
I was
time.
reading an email.
We're not going to shred any of those.
Oh, I found it.
But
I
we
flipped,
do need to pull those
I
emails.
flipped to the one I was
You
talking
did.
about.
Wild
This
typo.
is-
Yeah, I marked it. I'll read this one.
Read it. Read it.
Okay.
You got it.
This is from...
Are we gonna bleep you, or are you gonna?
No, it's not that bad. It's
Okay.
just oddly racial.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
But
my
they-
special. my Daily Wire
Hey
special.
guys, oddly racial, streaming now on Daily Wire. Are you gonna be promoting it on Ben Shapiro Cast? I don't know what you're doing. What are you doing?
I'm going on the Jordan Peterson show.
He's gonna talk like him to promote your boy.
PD. Okay, get
so
into the email.
I almost didn't even read this one because they didn't put my name in the deer part. But I'm glad I did.
Okay, guys, your email's not going to get read unless you validate Chase's
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah,
Now more than ever.
Yeah. All right. This is from Benjamin J. Keller. Maybe I shouldn't have read his name. He doesn't look great in this email. Hey, Shamalama and Ping Dong. This is
I don't like that.
this is not really a church story. It's and more of a church stories podcast story.
I like the implication there.
I go on a walk almost every day because, C virus. This is during COVID. This is during
I was
Oh.
about to say, nobody. How did I not think of C virus?
C Virus sounds
Man,
like
that's
the
upsetting.
hottest rapper from the 80s.
That's my new nickname. C virus.
Yeah, you already know.
I'm
You
gonna
already
call
know
COVID
Chase
that.
is infecting the world. He's infecting all the little boys and girls. Never mind.
Oh,
C Virus in the cut, and I'm here to say.
Chase Biden.
C Virus, C Virus,
Get money. C virus.
C virus. C Biden.
And because I listen to the podcast every week, it often happens that I find myself listening to the podcast in public. People are always staring at me because I can't hold the laughs in because you guys are so hilarious.
Thank you.
Why did you say it like that? Give
Yeah,
us.
well, you made it seem like we're not funny
Why
at all.
are you?
Chase.
Because this is before I was on the podcast.
You're an actor. You're an actor. Give us some
All right.
oomph.
We've always been
With that line
hilarious,
read.
Chase.
You want me to give you the line read? I don't want to insult you with a line read, but
All
I
right,
want
hold
you to
on.
give me. Okay.
Let's see if this is better. People are always staring at me because I can't hold back the laughs because you guys are just so hilarious.
A little bit better.
I'll take
A
it.
little too understated.
Take it. Let's get one
Oh.
for safety.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. Let's try this one. Let's try this one. Well, that doesn't really bother me because today. Oh wait, I read the wrong line. I give up.
Oh, okay. You was pick
I'm
up.
dyslexic.
You're good.
Okay, well that doesn't really bother me, but today I thought about it. Imagine imagine somebody, imagine someone actually asking me about why I'm laughing so hard. Like, what am I going to tell them?
Where is this going?
What am I going to tell them? A black and two funny guys making jokes. Making jokes about Mormons in the 2024 election while sipping buttermilk.
Oh. Can you read that one more time? Give us a different read.
Like, what am I gonna tell them? A black and two funny guys making jokes about Mormons? And then,
Hey man, I just want to point out, Funny Guys isn't a race.
oh man.
Oh. Guys, that's actually my special right now on Pure Flakes of Black and Two Funny Guys. And we're like, what do the funny guys do? They bring the mic on a stand and the stool out to the stage, and then you never see them again.
Yeah, it's actually the sequel to Shama and the Crackers.
Yeah.
A black and two funny guys.
That's the only context in which you could call Shama a black and he'll laugh at it for 5 minutes.
I read that last night at midnight, and I was just laughing so hard, man.
That's really good.
All right.
I'll give him.
You said this person's Swedish?
Switzerland. I got it wrong, and that's probably why I couldn't find it in the emails.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to tell them? A black and two funny guys making jokes about Mormons in the 2024 election while sipping buttermilk? I mean, what is your podcast even about at this point? In conclusion, your podcast makes absolutely no sense, but I can't stop listening because I'm in too deep already. From Switzerland with love, Benjamin.
Your podcast makes no sense.
Hey, you know, we keep recording this podcast because we're also in too deep already.
Yeah.
We
Wanna shred that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A black and two...
Well, thanks for listening.
man.
God bless. Do we want to?
I think that's enough emails.
That's enough emails.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Oh, man.
Hey, speaking of
I
really,
told you guys 2 or 3 emails and you gotta tap out.
oh yeah,
You can't keep going.
we get greedy. We keep digging back into the binder, and we get disappointed.
What were you about to say, Sean?
Well, I was about to say it's time to check in with Che.
Yeah.
20 minutes into the podcast?
Hey, extend it a little bit.
Give us a
brother.
little bit.
Come on.
You got this, brother.
Fill time, brother.
Oh, man. Okay.
Give us the 15-minute check-in in with Chase.
pulling the ejection button, brother.
I do have I guess it's a bit of a longer story. So I've been watching this this horror show on Netflix. It's really scary.
Every time.
I'm not going to say what it's called because I got in trouble for that last time. But
Chase will be like, yeah, so I'm watching Game of Thrones with all the incest sexual activity. Come on, Chase.
Kids listen to this Shama.
Yeah.
yeah, you're the
You're
one
the
in
one
the
who
wrong.
just-
You're the one in the wrong, not me.
Yay.
Because the kid's not going to know what Game of Thrones is. But if you say, never mind.
Anyway, it's a spooky show on Netflix, and me and Elizabeth been watching it.
Ooh,
So I was
spooky. Sorry, I'm the witch.
This is why this podcast doesn't make any sense.
I don't like the vibes in the new Bludio.
Hey, you picked an email because it roasted me.
That's fair. That's fair.
So you and Liz beef.
Yeah, so we've been watching this scary show on Netflix, and we were watching it last night. We finished the show. I left her house around midnight, and I'm driving home, and it's dark outside, and it's a little.
Liz stays up till midnight when she got that good government job.
She doesn't.
gotta wake
She
up
doesn't
early for it.
usually, but we've been really invested in this show.
Yeah.
And she's got her Sims to take care of.
Because Liz, listen to this.
No, not anymore. But if I tell her that we reference her, she will.
I laughed too hard. Sorry, Liz.
Really? So if you
Sorry,
say
Liz.
that I referenced her in the 40 minutes, she'll listen
to the whole thing. Yeah.
All right, let's see if that's true, Liz. Let's see if you found this.
So I'm driving home, and it's like midnight, and I'm in my head a little bit. I'm a little scared, all right? Because it was a very scary show. I pull up to my house, and Shama's been to my house before.
Yeah.
It's the whole backyard is a lot of woods, and the cul-de-sac doesn't have like street lights. It's very dark, and so I park in the cul-de-sac because I was not parking near the woods because I was pretty frightened.
Gosh.
And as I'm like, I turn my truck off, and I look up at my front door, and I'm about to open the door, and I just see something,
Dude.
move in front of the door.
Shut
And it's like
up.
big. And I immediately just like froze. and I was just like staring into the dark. I couldn't see it anymore, and I was like, I can't watch shows like that this late at night. I'm just a little too
I don't watch shows like that.
Scared.
Period.
And so I'm staring into the dark, and I'm trying to see what I saw. I was like, maybe it was a bird. I see an owl sometimes in my neighborhood. Maybe it was an owl.
A big owl.
And
You ever seen a human-sized owl on your porch?
And I again, so the porch light wasn't on. It was dark. I couldn't see. I literally just saw like something move. And so I'm like, I've watched that show. I've gotten a little scared. Whatever. I get out of my truck. I start making the long walk down my driveway. I turn off towards my front door, and I see something again. Like on the other side of my house. And I freeze. And I just stare at the darkness. And I'm trying to see it. And so I'm only like 10 feet away from my front door at this point, though. And so I was trying to make the decision of like, do I just run for the door? But then my thought process was, if I'm struggling to get the key in the door, that's perfect time to get me. My back's turned. I'm vulnerable.
And listeners, keep in mind, Chase got kicked pretty hard in the head recently. All right, now keep going.
No, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I stare at the darkness for a little bit longer.
What an aside.
I'm staring at the darkness where I saw the movement again. And I'm like, I just got to go for it. And I just kind of like quickly walk to my front door. I pull out my keys. I'm getting my keys in. I knew I was going to struggle with the keys because the GCC, our old studio key, is identical to my house key in shape.
Yeah, same.
And so I always used the wrong one, and I'm trying to do that. And all I hear behind me is, and I felt the breath on my back.
Shut up.
And it was like I was paralyzed in fear. I don't know if you've ever been that scared. And my body was cold, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I turn, and there was a deer standing behind me on my front porch. So in my neighborhood, they have a bunch of signs where it's like, don't feed the deer, because everyone feeds the deer.
Oh, my gosh.
And our neighbors, like, we have a big problem with deer hopping our fence and, like, playing with our dogs.
What?
In the fence. Yeah, because they're just like...
Bro, y'all's deer is mad confident.
Well, they're confident because they've never been hurt because they live in a country club, and then they get fed by all the neighbors.
Oh.
So they're mad confident. He walked, or she, I don't know what kind of deer it was, walked up behind me on my front porch, I guess expecting me to give it some food.
Dude, these deer's next level. I mean, you're living in, like, what was that? Was that freaking Snow White land?
Yeah.
Where all the animals just live in harmony?
Yeah. And I started laughing really hard because it was like a relief, but also it was just like kind of an absurd thing to happen. And I'm laughing so hard, and I get into the house, and I'm like, oh, man, I didn't die. And I'm laughing really hard. I make it in my house, and my dad like opens his bedroom door, and he's like, what was all that noise? And I was like, there was a deer on the front porch, and I thought it was a ghost. And he didn't believe me.
Y'all got cams? Y'all got a ring or
We
something?
don't.
That's hilarious.
Dang.
Yeah. And but that happened.
Dude.
But if the deer play with your dogs, shouldn't it be plausible?
That's what I said. But maybe it was because it was like midnight, and he just didn't care.
Guys,
Maybe it was all Liz.
the moral of the story, rich people live different.
Well, hold on.
What did I say? Guys,
Rich Chase.
Rich people, Rich Minion Chase live different.
Chase,
They got dogs and deer living in harmony. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now.
Chase caught his.
Y'all
minions
golf
this-
every day? Come on now.
No,
Cul-de-sac?
here's the
Come
thing
on now.
about- Here's the thing about, so we live, it is a country club, but you have to pay to use all of the country club stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And so we just kind
Or
of
have like a racist great grandfather who bought in early.
We just kind of live around a country club, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
Yeah. People give me this comment a lot. Well, our family rents a house in a cul-de-sac. And people be like, oh man, a house is for sale in our neighborhood. And I'm like, dude, do I have house for sale in your neighborhood money? Like, I don't have money to afford our house right now. Like, we're renting. So every time we're like, I don't want to, And I don't now with that attitude, I don't want to live in your neighborhood either. Now, just because you're just assuming that.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna pack up and be like, oh, where?
Your neighborhood.
Where?
Let's go.
Oh, let's go right now. I've got a briefcase full of money I've earned.
It's all
legally
counterfeit from the televangelist
Let's go.
video.
Let's go. Let's go buy it right now.
Shout out to Grace. We gotta get Grace back on this podcast.
You know, she was she had an appointment this morning. I almost said she should swing by, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll get her back.
soon.
She's very pregnant.
What? Oh, yeah. I remember doing the podcast the day she was due.
Oh yeah.
I was.
That's dedication.
I didn't want to be there at all.
Why? Because you just
Because
thought
she could pop at any moment.
you thought you and I were gonna like
deliver the
I
baby.
thought we were gonna have like just get.
No, I would have jumped out a
Hey,
window.
get some blankets.
I
I would have been like, all right, I'll respect
Get
y'all's
those
privacy.
yellow gloves under the kitchen sink. We gotta get us some big, ridiculously large banner cutting scissors for the umbilical cord. We gotta get in here.
No, I would have taken it.
Get
I
him
would've-
up.
I would- That is not what would have happened. I would have taken a deep breath and I would have said, it's time to pray. And then I would have delivered that baby.
Dude, I remember with Ezra, Grace's water broke. She felt like she needed to go to the bathroom, and then she came out of the bathroom and she was like, "My water broke," and I was like, "Oh, let's giddy up," and
Whoa.
you know, whoa,
Hey, man.
whoa.
I'm surprised she didn't say, never mind, I'll do it myself.
See, when Shama is about to have a child, he's a white guy on a roller coaster.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh.
Let's giddy.
Eureka.
I go, it's Labor time, and then I get low, and then I just I put on two catcher's mitts, and I one but with Zoe, Grace had been feeling bad that night, all night, and then like in the middle of the night, like midnight, she gets up from the bed and she goes, she looks at me, she goes, I don't feel good, and then she stands up next to the bed, and then her water, it was like the movies, like the.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow! I was like the real water breaking experience. I missed the first one. This was real. This is like I get to clean it up.
And what's bad is he said all of this at the time.
Yeah.
Like a
Whoa! Your water broke in. I heard it.
He's like somebody on The Price is Right who just won a car. That-
Woo! Oh man, what was your praise report, PDB?
are we wrapping this thing up?
Well, let's get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh man.
I don't know. I'm planning on going to a show with Kyle and Chase soon.
Okay.
By the time this is out, we'll probably have gone.
Okay.
And it's a New Japan show shaping up to be really cool. Chase's cousin is on the card.
Where at?
I need to message him.
It's in the Grady Cole Center in Charlotte.
Okay.
Charlotte. I need to
That's
text him,
exciting.
let him know we'll be there.
Yeah.
Be like, hey man, I'll be there. Throw me a shirt.
Yeah, I walked up to him at an indie show, I think last summer, and I was like, dude, it's awesome to see you on AEW. Like, you've been doing great. And he's like, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And then I was like, oh, I'm also friends with your cousin Chase. And he just looked up and he was like, I'm sorry to hear that.
So the first time we didn't get along the first time I met him. I met him at a wrestling show, and I walked up and I said, hey man, I don't know if you know this, but I'm your cousin. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, and I remember being like, this guy's so rude. So I went back and told my whole family. I was like, hey, we should shun this guy because he was rude to me. And then they were all like, no, he's really nice. He's a really cool guy. We like him more than you, actually. And they didn't say that. But, yeah, now we're friends. He said something nice about me to some of my wrestling friends. So we're cool, bro, if you're watching this.
Are you cool with, PD, are you cool with your cousins?
Yeah.
Maybe I just got too many cousins.
I've got like two of them that I keep in contact with.
I got like I'm got like 200 cousins.
Oh, wow.
Because my dad's dad had 5 wives, between them 17 kids. From them, like they're like freaking. I got too many cousins.
Yeah,
You're cousined out.
I'm cousined out, dude.
Yeah.
I have not finished meeting all my cousins, and I'm 30. Like every year, every time I was in Africa, I'd be like, "Oh, this is your cousin this is your granddad's second wife's third child's fourth born," and I'd be like, I was like, I need a graph. Let's get a family
your
tree
own
going.
army. Be the Marema militia.
That's what I say. You could weaponize all those cousins.
Well, Mrema's also like equivalent to the Smith here, so there are Mremas everywhere. Like when I go to the airport in Tanzania, people are like Mrema. And I'm like, we're all descendants from
from John
everywhere.
Marema.
Yeah,
that was the first one.
I mean,
John?
you could yell,
Is that what you said?
Yeah, John Marema. That was the
John
first.
Marema, John Marema, the founding Marema. Racist as heck. No, I'm just kidding. Can I be honest real quick? As probably. You know, the most racist people I met are from Africa.
Racist towards
everybody.
Americans.
Yeah. So when people talk about like racism here, whatnot, you know, educate yourself, I'm like, dude, people in foreign countries aren't educating themselves. They're not gonna read a book about white people, but white people will read a book about black people. Like, it is like, dude, I'm talking. I've heard horrendous things. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool.
White people deserve
Not
it.
cool. Mainly because I'm gonna go live there after this.
Well, you know, because of that and everything else going on in the world, it's time to pray. I'm just gonna keep spamming
God, we
that.
pray for the blacks and the funny guys all over the world.
We pray for Shama and the crackers.
In that order, God, we pray for healing and wholeness and health and provision and division and multiplication and addition and subtraction. I just pray over all the math. Jesus, man. That Christ-like calculus.
That's a sneak peek, brother.
Should we end this? Should we end this with the demo of Jesus, man?
Hey, do we have a demo of Jesus, man?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I said
But
to you
it's
guys.
a demo
let's do
for
it.
a reason.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Is it gonna
Let's not do
sound
that.
good?
Of course, it's not gonna sound good when it's completed.
How about you put
the
up-
song
hey.
was The song is called Jesus Math, and one of the bars is Jesus Math. That Christ-like calculus. If we die once, we'll live twice. So don't feel bad for us.
Okay, why don't you put in like just a few bars a cappella at the end?
Okay.
I think that'd be funny.
I did something really funny on the Bible Man watch along. Oh, also guys, on the Patreon, if you're supporting the Patreon, thank you so much. If you have not, you're missing out. We watched a whole episode of Bible Man, and we commentated on it.
It was really fun.
And it's probably one of the best Patreon episodes yet. But
One of the best episodes we've ever done, I think. It was just really fun.
Truly.
You can hear me do an extended Jordan Peterson impression for like 3 minutes.
I don't know if y'all watched it to the end.
I haven't watched it yet.
Why would you?
Well, I'm going to. I just haven't.
I
yet.
popped on
Alright.
my Jordan Peterson impression.
So I towards the end on the edit, I did this thing where it's like when the episode ends, you just hear me go, which I said it in the episode. I go, "Oh, you didn't think we were going to end with a song?" And then I play the whole song in its entirety, the whole
Nice.
music video.
Oh, the
of the we're all God's children.
That is funny.
It is really nice.
That is funny.
tell Joe Biden to give Donald Trump a hug.
We're gonna make Putin hug all of Ukraine. That riff, I don't know why, man. Sometimes though, you get a riff so good that, man, it tickles the innermost parts of you, and I'm saying it just like that.
A riff so good make you want to slap your grandma. That's that good riff.
A riff so good it'll make you want to quit doing this podcast.
A riff so good makes you want to fly back to Tanzania, go up to Kilimanjaro where both your grandmas are buried, dig them up from out of the ground, and slap them.
A riff so good that you want to turn into a deer and then you want to scare Chase and make him think you're a ghost.
A riff so good makes you want to get lemonade, but only with half the amount of sugar that you would usually put in it because you're on a diet, and treat yourself.
A riff so good make your heart so good that you want to walk into a hospital where a surgeon's performing open heart surgery and going like, "Take my heart because it's worth it."
Ooh, a riff so good, we do a podcast for 44 minutes and then decide maybe that's enough for work today.
A riff so good that we're going to end this podcast right now.